You know how sometimes the biggest, most profound meanings are hiding in what seem like the most ordinary words? Well, today, we're going on a bit of a linguistic treasure hunt. We're diving deep into the original Greek of the New Testament to see how the choice between two simple verbs, both meaning to lay or to place, can unlock a whole new world of understanding. Let's get into it.
When you and I read our modern translations, we see a word like foundation, and we think, yep, got it. But the thing is, the original Greek authors were so incredibly precise. They had this whole palette of words to choose from, each with its own unique shade of meaning. So the real key for us is figuring out why they chose one specific word over another. That's where the good stuff is.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at a word that just screams permanence, something solid and stable. Then, we'll meet its more versatile cousin, a verb that pops up all over the place. After that, and this is the best part, we'll put them side by side to see the subtle but really powerful difference. And finally, we'll see how this one little distinction can totally change the way we read a passage.
Okay, our first word is themeleoo. Now, this isn't just about stacking a few bricks. No, think bedrock. This is the word you use for something that is fundamentally, unshakably stable. When you see themeleoo, you know you're talking about something that was built to last forever.
And you can see it right there in the definition. It's not just to lay a foundation, it's to make strong, to make firm. The focus here isn't on the act of building, it's on the enduring quality of the thing that's been built. It implies a finished, solid, totally reliable result.
And just look at the scale of this. The book of Hebrews uses Themelioo to describe God laying the actual foundation of the earth. I mean, we're not talking about a temporary shed here. This is a cosmic act of creation. It is the ultimate example of what this word means. Something set in place, divinely, and for good.
And this idea of a firm foundation, it isn't just about physical stuff. As you can see from these examples, it gets used for everything from the wise man's house built on the rock to our faith being rooted and established in love. In every single one of these cases, themelioω is pointing to the exact same thing, a strong, stable, and secure final state.
All right, so that's our specialist, the word for ultimate permanence. Now let's meet the all-rounder. This next word is Tithemi, and it's like the dynamic, all-purpose superverb of the New Testament.
And get this, it shows up around 100 times. That number alone tells you something really important. This word covers a huge range of actions and ideas. It really is the Swiss Army knife of Greek verbs. So, what does it actually mean? Well, at its very core, Tithemi is all about the action of placing, putting, or appointing something. So, if themelioo was about the permanent result, Tithemi is all about the dynamic act of getting something there. It's the go-to verb for pretty much any kind of placing.
And its uses are just incredibly broad. I mean, it can be as simple as physically putting a lamp on a stand. It can be authoritative, like God appointing someone to be an apostle. And it can be deeply symbolic, like Jesus laying down his life. In every one of these, the focus is on that specific, deliberate act of placement.
Okay, so we have themelioo, the verb of the permanent state, and we have Tithemi, the verb of dynamic action. Now it's time to put them right next to each other, because this is where we unlock that deeper meaning.
This, right here, gets to the very heart of it. Themelioo describes the state of being founded, that permanent, unshakable result. Tithemi, on the other hand, describes the action of placing something, the dynamic intent, that deliberate step. You could say one is the destination, and the other is the journey to get there.
And check this out. This verse from 1 Corinthians is the absolute perfect case study. Paul says, I laid a foundation. For his action, the word he uses is Tithemi. But then he says what the foundation is. It's Jesus Christ. And that foundation, Christ himself, is the very definition of the unshakable, permanent state of themelioo. So Paul performs the action, but the result is eternally firm.
Let's just pause on that for a second, because it's such a clear and powerful distinction. Tithemi is the architect's action, the laying of the stone. Themelioo is the quality of the unshakable building that you get as a result.
So why does all this matter? I mean, why go this deep into the linguistic weeds? Well, it's because when you see this distinction, verses you've known for years can suddenly just snap into focus in a completely new way. It adds this incredible layer of depth and intentionality that we might have just read right past before.
So let's recap what we've unlocked. First, and most importantly, the word choice in the original scriptures is so intentional. Now, you know that when the focus is on divine permanence, on that finished, stable result, you should look for Themelioo. And when the author wants to highlight a specific action or intention, you can spot Tithemi. Recognizing both lets us see the deliberate action and the unshakable spiritual reality it creates.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? If this much meaning can be packed into the simple choice between two words for to lay, it just makes you wonder, what other treasures are hiding in plain sight? What other ordinary words are just waiting there for us to discover?